Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel, and welcome to another episode of Unhinged TikToks. This time, we're going to be watching some makeup content because I don't do enough makeup content here on the Chanel, and every time I post a video that is reacting to the world's worst makeup, we're acting to the worst rated makeup artist. Everyone in the comments is always like, but Luxeria, why aren't you sharing more tips? Where are the tutorials? Why aren't you listening? Bitch! And actually, my loves, I was a beauty YouTuber, a beauty guru before it was fashionable here on the Chanel. From 2009 to 2015, I posted weekly tutorials on makeup and cosmetics, and those are no longer available to be watched online now because they're on my old channel, which got shadow banned, and I'm just letting it die.
She's dead.
So, my lovelies, on the last episode of Unhinged TikToks, one of the top comments was by Beau, and they say, imagine being the couple getting married and then have your cousin's cheating scandal play out at your wedding. I wonder if we're gonna see any wedding-related makeup disasters today, my lovelies. I will say, though, I do feel like a wedding is most rememberable when it has a bit of a scandal. Do you know what I mean? A scandal, girls?
Naughty mummy.
Like, weddings, sure, they're lovely. You can celebrate your love and life, or if you're a strange turf on Twitter, your hatred for trans people.
Is that tea?
Oh, did you hear the beep? It's supermarket sweep, girls. You good boy. Yes, is it Mr. Biscuits? It is. And as we've been watching, a lot of absolute nonsense here on the Chanel recently that's kind of been a little bit heavy to deal with. I feel like sometimes when I post a video, I'm like, oh God, why is this the most shocking thing I've ever seen?
Do you want gay
Why don't we react to some makeup fails today, my lovelies? So some of them are going to be more shocking than others, I have a feeling, because this is TikTok, and that's what TikTok does. So, my lovelies, get your beverages at the ready. I am not on the Monster today. Gagged at the pageant. I am on Pepsi Max. I'm on Pepsi Max? That's not right, is it?
No.
So, my lovelies, let's dive right into these makeup fail TikToks. So this one is titled, I won't even tell you how much I paid.
What I asked for. What I got.
It's okay. Don't worry. If you
Oh.
want to apply that for the foundation again, you get.
I cried like a baby.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
It was
sis.
so bad I emailed them for a refund. Stay tuned. What?
Oh.
What
So,
I-
in this TikTok, we clearly have like a red-themed ultra glam here. You've got some gorgeous lashes. You've got big, juicy, like bite the poison apple red lips, which I'm a huge fan of. You got some gorgeous cheek work. You've got some gorgeous skin work. You've got some gorgeous lashes. And unfortunately, that was not delivered, was it? No. Okay, so what's wrong? What's wrong? Should we talk about what's wrong with this makeup? As you can read from the text here, it says that you can hear the MUA in the background offering to fix it. This is an issue that happens occasionally when you go to makeup artists who aren't makeup artists.
Is that tea?
They're more like makeup enthusiasts. They can do makeup on themselves, and they can do makeup for like their own Instagram, maybe for their own TikToks, something like this, some sort of like makeup style that doesn't involve doing makeup on other people. A makeup artist would never have done this. I will, however, say she's got the red on the eye looking quite good, although it does seem to err on the side of pink. I have this problem when it comes to red eyeshadows, is that most of the time, because they are vegan formulas now, vegan cruelty-free, they do not use an ingredient known as carmine. Now, carmine or carmine is a crushed up beetle, and it gives a really bright true red pigment. Most makeup companies do not use that pigment anymore, and instead they opt for a dye. And these dyes have a tendency to sometimes stain the skin, but they also show up a little bit more pink. The best way that I have found to recreate like a true red is to actually mix like red and orange together, and that way it kind of creates like the warmth of red that you're looking for. I will also say, I don't know if you can see here, but around her lips, she's got concealer that is unblended, and it's not like done in a right way to make like the lips juicy and round. The lips are also dry. They are not glossy. They are not contoured. They're not glam. Ah!
Damn.
I am so sorry this happened to you, Duchess. That makeup artist needs to sit down and think about what they've done. But this is one of those things, again, where it's very what I saw online and what I got in real life. Always do your research on where your makeup artist's trained or where they've worked or previous references, anything. And always make sure you check tagged photos, not just the ones that they post that are beautifully edited and filtered and blah de blah on Instagram. The eyeliner's quite sharp.
I cried like a baby.
But it's not
It was
great,
so
is it?
bad I emailed them
No.
for a refund.
So the next thumbnail I have just seen is a woman trying to apply fake freckles or faux freckles with an electric toothbrush. So I just can't wait to see how this turns out, girls. Oh my God.
Electric chair.
Faux freckles fail.
Oh, is this copyright? Oh. I mean, sure, but there's got to be a better way than... No. Well, at least she knows. Oh, now look, it looks like you've snuffled in the children's park.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you been snuffling in the children's park? Don't do that. When it comes to freckles, there are so many techniques and tips and tricks that you can do. I would always say avoid those things that are like stickers. They go like here and you can put them across the forehead and like around here. Like those stickery, temporary transfer tattoo freckles. Avoid them. Avoid them. Avoid them.
That is disgusting.
Some of the best ways that you can get faux freckles is to use warm-toned eyebrow products. So things that are designed for people with red-toned hair in mind. Things like an auburn pomade, an auburn pomade. Get yourself a really thin brush, dip it into the auburn pomade, print it onto one of your fingers and just press and roll and change the angle like this. And you will eventually get some of the most gorgeous natural looking freckles. Of course, there are also companies like Luxeria and Freck, I believe, that do things like freckle pens. Again, a really good idea. There are just so many different alternatives that you can use. Even things like the Stila eyebrow pens are really good at creating dots if you don't want to do the transfer technique. I would say though, if you're going to do something as heavy as this, so when you use a toothbrush to apply an eyeshadow as a freckle, instead of just leaving it like literally polka dots on the face, take some of your powder afterwards and gently press it over just to like naturally subdue the tone a little bit, just so that it looks like it's actually coming from within the skin and not just like slapped on top.
And that's the Darjeeling.
Right, what's this one? Let's have a look at
Let's
this.
use this filter to do my makeup.
Oh, filtered
Why is
makeup.
the contour so freaking low on my forehead? We're just gonna have to go with it. And now let's do my nose.
I mean,
I never
it's
usually do
cute.
contour on my chin, but I guess we're gonna have to do
This is
it.
a lot of contour.
I am absolutely terrified for blush because this stuff is so pigmented and it needs 3 dots. Whatever, let's just do it.
Oh no, is this copyright music?
Foundation. Okay, I just took the filter off. Now it's time to blend. Not gonna lie, I have a really good feeling about this.
Right.
I feel like there's not enough foundation, but we're just... Oh my god. What am I gonna do? It's not blending. It's literally... It's stuck. I forgot I was using the Charlotte Tilbury dupe and it never wants to blend. And I definitely left it on for too long. Oh my god, this could not be going any worse. I don't even know what to do. This was
Take it
definitely
off
a
and
fail.
start again, sis.
Let's use this.
So, realistic, get ready with me. I'm sorry that this has happened to you. So, these filters are... I guess they kind of have their place. If you had no real experience with makeup, I feel like the younger generations, with this abundance of makeup information available on the internet, are never going to struggle with finding something that works for them. I just feel like technology is like just ensure that stays in the past. Do you know what I mean? When it comes to using a filter to do something like this, always remember that these filters do not take into consideration how your face actually looks. If you think about what she said at the beginning there, which was, why is this contour so low on my forehead, girls? Not everyone needs to forehead contour, and not every contour is going to be that low. I will also say the amount of dots that you can see on this filter is so much product, so much contour. You do not need that much contour here. I feel like actually, should we get into it a little bit? I do feel like a lot of makeup companies at the moment, maybe not so much now because I feel like the fresh glass skin is coming back into trend. It's very like,
less is more, but more is also buying more. That's why this product that gives you less costs more.
whereas back in my heyday of makeup, which was kind of like 2012 to 2017 really, is when I was really like the most I've ever been into makeup ever. I would say back then companies were advertising just way too much makeup. Way too much. So My idea, if you want to use a nice contour, grab a concealer in a couple of shades darker than you. Depending on how much contouring you want, depends how dark you can go. I generally go for quite a deep contour just because I put a little tiny line across here and use all of that to blend out this entire area down here with a beauty sponge over the top of my foundation. Making sure it's a warm toned concealer, I can go over it with powder when I powder the rest of my face, and it actually cools down that warmth and creates a nice natural shadow. You do not need to apply so much across the forehead, so much down here, so much across the side of the nose, and so much across the jaw. You just don't need to do that. When you're using a brush or a sponge to blend out these areas here, you can use what's left over to gently go down your nose, unless of course you're doing something that requires an intense nose contour, which I don't think most average makeup consumers require.
You don't know me.
By the time you finish mapping out the rest of your face, the product that you've put up here is going to be starting to dry. So it's just, unless you're applying it to like soaking moisturized skin or soaking sprayed skin, it's all going to dry before you get time to blend. And nobody wants that, do they? No. And also it works really nicely to put just a little bit of the edge here for like that contour of the bone. The bone. What's this? Oh no. Oh, Christmas. What is that? What's happened? Is this an artificial? No, that's makeup. That's glue, isn't it? That's glue. Is that glue? That's got to be glue. That's not that's not skin. That's not flesh. It looks like she has brow coverage that's kind of gone a bit off the scale, shall we say? Just a little bit. It's following the trolls under the bridge to make a new home for itself.
You're a troll.
So, do you want to hear my little tips and tricks for if you have dry areas of skin and you're in makeup and there's not really a lot you can do because you have to wear a full face of makeup for something, whether it's work, an event, or blah-de-blah, but you've got a dry patch and everything's clinging to it? Oh, no!
Yes!
So, my lovelies, today, because the weather has suddenly decided to change in London, my skin has broken out into dry skin around these parts of my face. If I go a bit closer, I think you're probably going to see just a minimal amount of texture, which is kind of normal for my skin anyway. So, first things first, when it comes to a great base in makeup, you're always going to have what? A great skincare routine to start with. So make sure you are moisturized, exfoliated, you've done all your night creams the night before, whatever it is that you use to keep your skin in a manageable, happy condition, yes. My go-to full coverage foundation has been and always will be Estee Lauder Double Wear. Now, Estee Lauder Double Wear does have a tendency to come up a little bit dry on certain skin types. So once I've applied everything and then I powder everything down, I will apply a moisturizer to the back of my hand, my favorite one, making sure that it hasn't got any actives in. So it's not a blemish moisturizer, it's not a niacinamide moisturizer. And then I will press it over my set everything. Press it over and then gently tap it in. Do not rub. If you rub, you will ruin your foundation and then you'll be like,
Oh no! Why is everything clinging to my dry skin? It looks hateful, girls!
Scalies! Don't Google scalies.
How vile.
Once you've finished gently patting that in, assess. Does the area look hydrated? Also make sure it's not an oil-based moisturizer because that will just take your makeup clean off. And then finish with a hyaluronic acid-based setting spray. That will give your skin just an ever so slight natural glow. And having a natural glow helps really disguise any dry areas that you have. I think I've managed to do it quite well. There is a time limit on this, and you may have to redo it throughout the day, maybe once, maybe twice. But generally, this little technique can really help keep those dry patches under control when you're in a full face of makeup and you've got no other option. She's got a degree. All right, okay, the next one is a foundation hack, and the title is The Biggest Fail. And I already see some very interesting things happening with a glass of water.
Oh, scandalous.
Right, oh, da da da. What?
Does this actually work?
Right, okay.
She has water in her cup and she adds a bunch of
That's a
foundation
lot of
inside the
water.
water. So it looks something like that.
That's not, it's not
And
going to
she
work,
just
sis. It's not going to
drops it and
work.
She just kind of blends it all in. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So it's not really working. I need to apply maybe more foundation.
You're going to use so much more foundation because it needed like one
I do not
drop.
recommend this challenge to anybody. Literally just dropped the frother
Yes.
from the cup and it's
Yes.
like literally everywhere, all over my clothes. And honestly, it's not even blending in the way I wanted to.
No, it won't.
My life. Damn it. Just don't even try.
No, no,
Don't even try it.
no. There we go. So, what a naughty little slut that lady is for being like, oh, water in your foundation, mousse, girls.
That was a lie.
So, formulas. Should we talk about formulas? When you produce something like a foundation, there are a bunch of ingredients that are basically just designed for stabilizing, for making a cream or a mousse or keeping the liquid thin but spreadable. These are all sorts of different ingredients. They can range from certain types of oils, they can range from certain types of silicones, and even other types of ingredients like certain types of alcohol that can help increase slip. The reason why it won't ever work to just mix in water with a foundation that looks like the L'Oreal one, because that's a long-wearing silicone-based formula. With something like a water-based serum foundation, I don't see what, like, it wouldn't be a problem. You'd just be like mixing down your foundation to have even less coverage. It will never become a mousse unless you add a gelling agent or an emulsifying agent such as cetearyl alcohol or shea butter or something like that. If you really did want to make it more of a whipped feeling, you could put maybe like 1 or 2 drops of water into a foundation and do this across your fingers. But realistically, all you're doing is adding water to an already formulated formula. The original lady is like, it's a mousse, but what does the benefit of having it in a mousse formula make for the skin over the liquid formula that it already is? When it comes to formulating color cosmetics such as foundations, you kind of there is a balance actually between the certain types of ingredients that are really skin safe for many hours on the skin, and also a balance of ingredients that will help adhere pigments to the skin and keep them in place. So when it comes to stabilizing a foundation, quite often there'll be ingredients that are a polymer. So there'll be like carbapol 9/4, say, Carbapol 9/8, say, Sepimax Zen, or some other type of polymer. And that creates that gel slip that feels really nice when you have it in the right foundation. These sorts of things only really function as they're meant to when the pH of the product is at its necessary level to remain stable. So as soon as you start adding water to something like this, it can go all bitty, it can separate, it can curdle, and that's because you're changing the pH balance of the formula, therefore disrupting some of the ingredients that are within that. And that's why you can't make a mousse when you just put water into foundation.
I knew it!
So some of the comments here are even saying less water and it should be a water-based foundation. I still don't see, really, unless you have an emulsifier in that, how that's going to make sense. Because how would a liquid water foundation then also turn into a mousse? That's not chemistry, no!
How dare you?
Right, what's this? Oh, stickers? Are they little stickers? Okay. Wait, what? Is that lip gloss? No. Well, I mean, it's a relatively... What is that? What was that she's got on there? What is that? What is this product? Miracle Juicy Shift by Tarte. I see. So it's literally kind of like a lip glossy type thing over a sticker that could make sense on the cheeks. So this can be done, and it can be done in quite a good way. Actually, this kind of harkens back to a video I did a long time ago about the fact that people in the olden days would stick certain different types of shapes to their face as a beauty mark to be a part of the upper echelons of society. There was even ones that would be like an entire horse and carriage. Can you believe it? Unhinged.
I don't care.
This idea of stenciling isn't new, and it does work. I think maybe the option of doing clouds is kind of difficult because clouds are a bit of like a non-object shape, if you know what I mean. Like, it's not like a star or a heart. Like, a cloud kind of has to have quite solid edges in order for you to understand that it's a cloud. There are other brilliant ways that you can incorporate something like this into your makeup, though. For example, a little while ago, there was a trend of just doing like cloud makeup. Just like clouds everywhere on the face. And it was gorgeous because it was an excellent way to show off creativity in makeup that maybe hadn't been seen very much before on a public sphere such as social media. If you really want to make these things work for you and work quite nicely, I would probably limit them to the eye. Try and veer away from like glossy textures. An easy way to incorporate an idea like this into your makeup would be to put little stars at the edge of your eyeshadow or at the edge of your eyeliner. Maybe even here under the center if you wanted to do a sort of like Harley Quinn styly thing. Oh, right, here we go. Oh no, copyright lady. Children's makeup. Oh. Right, let's see. Dior. Gorgeous. Love that. Child makeup B. Oh, well, let's be honest. Makeup set I found on sale in Kmart. Okay, so, shall we talk about this, shall we? This particular blush by Dior has It's got a bit of a chokehold on the internet for multiple different reasons. So, Dior is very much a brand that has like a glowing from within kind of vibe. It's all about like perfection, but like soft, natural perfection. I love the Dior highlighters. I feel like the Dior Backstage collection of highlighters is really beautiful. They do not highlight any texture on my skin. I'm not actually wearing it today. I'm wearing the Fenty Beauty. But they give a gorgeous color payoff, and you get 4 different tones within each palette. Great. Their blushes, however, I just don't like them. I really don't like them. I feel like there are so many better options you can get at such a better price. I feel like when it comes to Dior makeup, a lot of the excitement is from the name, being like, I have the Dior blush, the Dior this, the Dior that. For example, I've got the Dior eyelash curler and I love it, even though it's actually not very good. A better brand, in my opinion, if you want gorgeous cheek products, is NARS. NARS do incredible cheek products. They've got incredible bronzers, they've got incredible blushes, they've got some lovely highlights, and also some translucent face powder that they do that's in the pan. Gorgeous. So I am absolutely not surprised that when we're talking about more pigmented when it comes to children's makeup. Also, can we talk about how expensive children's makeup is becoming? Also, the idea that children have lots of makeup anyway. Bizarre. Children's makeup are selling an idea of like, play with colors, see what you look like. Whereas Dior is trying to project an image of gorgeous glow from within. You just need a little soft lick of color and that'll be $800, girl.
We don't have that kind of money.
So yes, in conclusion to my TED Talk, I am not surprised that children's makeup is more pigmented than Dior. And you know what, my loves? With that, I'm going to give some final thoughts on what we've seen today. So TikTok is kind of an unruly, lawless place of makeup girls. If you've seen any scandalous makeup tutorials or scandalous makeup products or reviews that you would like me to react to here on the Chanel, all about makeup on TikTok, tag me in them. I have TikTok. It is xxluxeria. And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourself scrolling past on the screen here, my loves. Yes, you can. Today's Twitch shout out goes to Gear Up 212. Thank you so much for following me over on Twitch, you stunning woman on the go. And if you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next video's Twitch shout out, make sure you follow me over on Twitch. It is Luxeria Plays, and I stream every Monday and Thursday, my loves. And once again, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons: Aloria, Laura Ali, Luke Peterson, Orkod Samoji, Amanda, Beebles32, Shell Herman, Christy Crownover, Christina Kyle, ContraPoints, Danielle, Danny Smith, Dorina Pina, Elizabeth Stone, Eric Castillo, Jen Martin, Jenabeth Herman, Caitlin Wright, Laura Jane, Les Banana, Mazel Morel, Min Min TM, Mariah Sherman, Nadia Hamdi, Nixie Tricks, Paolo Rivera, Ryan Vita, Sexy Texy RN, Slampire Queen, Steffi Tech, The Chaos Collective, Travelful, Dromo, Victoria Corella, and Zoe Sevier. And lastly, I think Mr. Biscuits and I are going to leave it on the note of, if you want a mousse foundation, just buy a mousse foundation. Just make sure it's not Dream Matte Mousse. Ugh. I'll see you in the next one, gorgeous. Oh, you tired, Mr. Biscuits? Are you tired?